I am Supreme, and today's Astro-Oracle investigation will be on Rachel Mellon Skemp. Rachel Mellon Skemp disappeared from her home in Bolingbrook, Illinois, January 31st, 1996, and she was never heard from or seen again. Okay, I have an extensive timeline and information on Rachel Mellon's energy and the energy surrounding a lot of events leading up to her disappearance. So I'm going to go down this whole timeline, and then I'm going to pull charts and pull cards, and we're going to solve this case. Okay, so today is September 24th, 2025. Okay, Rachel has still not been found or heard from. Okay, now Rachel Mellon Skemp was biracial. Okay, she was born October 13, 1982, to Amy and Jeff Skemp. Okay, she was a victim of abuse most of her life. Her parents got divorced when she was like 3. Okay, her mother got remarried to Vincent Mellon, and Vincent Mellon took Rachel under his wing as if she was his own, and that's why Rachel's last name was hyphenated to Mellon Skemp. The abuse got worse under the influence of her stepfather. Rachel has a history of running away from home, periodically sleeping on friends' outside porch to avoid going home. Okay, it was saying, I watched numerous podcasts on this. It was saying her stepfather was a monster to Rachel and her mother, just that whole household period. He was like a ticking time bomb. And there's nothing worse than living in a household with a ticking time bomb. Because it's like everybody's walking around on eggshells to make sure they don't piss this ticking time bomb off, so he'll detonate. So she has a history of running away. Okay, so eventually she made her way back home because situations, circumstances landed her no choice. So January 31st, 1996, Rachel called in sick from school. She stayed home because she said she had a sore throat. It was a snowstorm that day. So her stepfather was also home because he was unemployed at the time. It was said that Rachel called her grandmother that day while she was at home, thanking her for her Christmas gifts. Because keep in mind, Christmas had just passed. This is January 31st, 1996. Okay, so her grandmother stated that while she was on the phone with Rachel, Rachel had got quiet. And then, like a minute or so later, she let her grandmother know, I gotta go. So whatever happened that made her get quiet, her grandmother still doesn't know to this day. And that was the last time she heard of Rachel. And that was the last time anybody has seen or heard from Rachel. So Rachel's younger sister discovered Rachel gone when she got home from school. Her younger sister was like 6 at the time. Police investigated the home that Rachel lived in. All of Rachel's belongings were found in the home untouched. No signs of forced entry. Vincent, who was the stepfather, his arms were seen to be covered in scratches. So upon being questioned about the scratches, he stated that it was from him working on his car. Of course, they didn't believe that. Police found Rachel's diary. And in Rachel's diary may be the key to her killer if she is dead, or definitely the key to her disappearance. So she wrote on numerous accounts how her stepfather frequently touched and kissed her. They discovered an out-of-print book called Daddy Kisses that Rachel had. Why would she have a book called Daddy Kisses? The book was apparently about a father's relationship with his daughter. I guess the closeness of a father's relationship with his daughter, so not quite sure what kind of kisses these were, but it was the type of kisses that, according to Rachel, was worth documenting because your diary is your most personal, emotional record. So detectives also discovered a knife under Rachel's pillow. Why was Rachel sleeping with a knife under her pillow? The detective working on the case, Drew Peterson of Bolingbrook PD. Drew was married 4 times. There's a reason why I'm going into Drew's personal life. He was married 4 times. This is the detective now. Now, Drew is currently in prison for murder. For murder of his 3rd wife. Mind you, he was married 4 times. He's in prison for murdering his 3rd wife. And now his 4th wife is missing. It was speculated that Drew was friends with Rachel's stepdad. I would have speculated that too. I just seen 555 across the screen. Vincent, the stepfather, failed the lie detector test. No, you don't say. This is not a laughing matter. It's just, really? Did y'all really think he was gonna pass? Yes, check this out. Rachel's mother took his side. She took his side. That's some type of love. That's some type of love. You know, when most of the dots that are connecting, especially the major dot, which is the lie detector test, will clearly show you that this man is responsible for your daughter's disappearance and possibly her death, and you're going to take his side. The mother still didn't believe them. She took her husband's side, Vincent. I guess she figured, aside from him having these ways, he's a good man. Your daughter's missing and possibly dead. But okay. What happened to Rachel Mellon Skemp? And I'm going to get to the bottom of it. People are weird. Like, who can you run to? If you can't run to your own parent, like who? I have Rachel's birth chart alignment in front of me. Rachel was born October 13th, 1982. And I have the alignment of when she disappeared. So, when October 13th, 1982, I'm sorry, this just went all through me. Can't wait to get to this investigation. Because I know I'm highly tuned into Rachel Mellon Skemp, her soul. Even if whether she's living or gone, I'm tuned in. I feel it. So on that day of Rachel Mellon's birth, the sun was in Libra and her moon was in Leo. So y'all know how I formulate time. Time is the sun divided by moon cycles. When I put the Leo moon inside of Libra's house, which is the 7th house, Aquarius is rising. Aquarius is the energy of groups, gangs, organizations, affiliations. Aquarius, when it comes to a family matter, is also the stepchild and the stepdad. When Aquarius comes out in the house of the father, and we're trying to, when I say we, I'm talking about me and my spiritual team. When we're trying to locate a family member, Aquarius will always let us know that it's the stepfather. If Aquarius is in the 4th house and we're trying to solve a domestic dispute, this is most likely the stepchild involved. If Aquarius was in the 4th house, it'd be the stepchild or the stepmother. Or it could be the stepfather too, but these are step family members. Okay? So when it's in the 3rd house, it'll represent cousins. Could be step cousins as well. Somebody married into the traditional lineage. So Aquarius is coming first in Rachel Mellon Skemp's chart. So the energy of the step energy period, this is a sign to me that the step energy. So let's pull the chart of the day Rachel disappeared. On January 31st, 1996, the sun was in Aquarius. and the moon was in Gemini. Let's talk about it. Don't know how I formulate time. When the Gemini moon is in Aquarius's house, which is the 11th house, Leo is rising, which is Rachel's moon. Moon in Leo is rising. Leo is the energy of children. Leo, when it comes to solving a dangerous situation or a mystery that involves crime, Leo represents sex trafficking and all types of polluted, playful activities involving children. Why is Leo coming first, other than that is Rachel's moon sign? It's ironic that the day she disappeared, the sun was in Aquarius, which I just got finished explaining. That is the step energy. And now the day she disappeared, Leo comes first, which is Rachel's actual energy. So let's talk about this. Since Leo comes first, the day she disappeared, where was Leo at? In Rachel's birth chart. Leo was right here in Libra's house, the house of relationships. Was she in a relationship with her stepfather? Was this a hidden romantic sexual relationship with her stepfather? And things was about to come to the surface. And somebody, maybe she disappeared on her own, or maybe he killed her. We don't know. We're going to get down to the bottom of it. But her energy and her stepfather's energy is prominent. Is prominent. Rachel's son is in Leo, as in Libra. This is Libra's house. Her moon is in Leo, and it's in Libra's house. So this is Rachel's moon sign, and it's in the house of her son because she is a Libra. And the reason why this makes a huge difference is because Leo comes first the day she disappeared. So we got to follow this relationship that she had with somebody in her family, somebody close to her, because the moon represents family, home, those the closest to you. Okay? The sun rules Leo. So being that Leo comes first, let's follow the sun the day Rachel disappeared. The sun was in Aquarius. Where is Aquarius? Right there in Libra's house, right there in Rachel's house. The step energy. The step energy. Okay? Now that day she disappeared, the moon was in Gemini. Look where Gemini is at. In Aquarius's house. In the stepfather's house. Gemini is also the siblings because her younger sibling is involved too. All them siblings in that house are involved in some form or fashion of the abuse and what happened to Rachel. So I'm going to pull a planet because the planets know everything. The planets are our Akashic records. They keep track of every occurrence that has ever occurred from people, places, and things since the beginning of time. There is no beginning of time. Time is eternal. So the planets have recorded everything. Past, present, future. There is nothing that did not occur. Ever. There is nothing that ever occurs that has not been recorded. There is nothing that will ever occur that won't be recorded. It's just a matter of understanding how to tune into those records. I am a high-ranking oracle. And we are going to tune into those records and get answers. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell button so you'll be notified when I drop my investigations. I'm tuned in to Rachel Mellon Skemp's energy, and I want to know what happened. What happened to Rachel Mellon Skemp? What happened to Rachel Mellon Skemp? The moon. There we go. The moon. Somebody closest to her. And it's in the second house of security, money, material possessions. Let's talk about it. The moon, it's a family member. Somebody close is involved. That moon came out. Where was the moon at the day she disappeared? The moon was in Gemini. Gemini also represents wherever she went when she left the house, or if she even left the house. Gemini represents travel and interaction. Gemini also represents that phone call to her grandmother. The moon was in Gemini. When Gemini is in the second house, Taurus comes first. Taurus comes first. This is the chart that Rachel pulled. Why is Taurus coming first? Where was Taurus at the day she disappeared? Taurus was right here in the 10th house, the house of the father. Remember, I told you, if Aquarius ever ends up in the 10th house, we know that's the stepfather, because the 10th house is the house of the father figure. Okay? It just so happens in this house, the father figure is in the house of relationships. The relationship with who? Rachel. Her moon is in Leo, and she is a Libra. And that's why Leo came first the day she disappeared. So now, this chart came out with the moon in the second house. And look what's in the father's house. The stepdad. You cannot make this shit up. Look what is in the father's house. The stepfather. In the beginning of this reading, I told you, if whenever Aquarius shows up in the 10th house, that will let me know that is her stepfather. This chart was pulled from the ether, not the time of birth or the time of disappearance. This was pulled directly from the ether. Her stepfather is the suspect. Her stepfather is the suspect. Aquarius rules Uranus. Now, let's follow the planet Uranus. Uranus, the day she disappeared, was still in Aquarius, right there. In Aquarius. Right there in Aquarius. Taurus comes first. There's some money involved. Okay? There's some money involved. Maybe it's money to keep certain people quiet, but there's definitely money involved. Okay? Now, let's follow Venus. Venus is in Pisces the day she disappeared. Okay? Now, Pisces is right here in Aquarius's house, the 11th house. The individual that she was had a hidden connection with. Okay? So, let's follow Pisces to elaborate on this individual, because we know this is the stepfather. There was something hiding between her and the stepfather. But the stepfather's right here. We know he's responsible. Now, Neptune rules Pisces. Neptune, the day she disappeared, was right here in Capricorn, which is the actual father figure. Capricorn rules the 10th house. Capricorn is the father figure. Now, whatever sign ends up here will let me know what kind of father figure this was. And I told you, if Aquarius ends up here, that's the stepfather. Okay? Just like, for example, if Cancer was to end up here. Cancer is the mother. So this will represent the mother's father. So, the father, the stepfather, is here. Okay? Now, being that Capricorn, the father figure, is in the 9th house. What is the 9th house? The 9th house is the house of foreigners. It is the house of foreign affairs. It is the house of religion. It is the house of different cultures. Okay? Now, this may have been an attack on Rachel's lineage, her bloodline. That exists. People feel the need, they have a right to attack you. There's racism in the world. People think racism is all about black and white. No, it's not. Racism is everywhere. Black on white, white, Chinese, Indian, Catholics against Christians, Christians against Muslims. All of that is racism. That's racism. If my favorite color is red and your favorite color is green and I hate green, I'm racist towards you. Racism is everywhere. And you know how I know this was racially motivated? Because this is Sagittarius's house, the ninth house. And in the house of death, which is where I'm going to look right now in all of these charts to close it out. In the house of death, look at Sagittarius. This is about culture, foreign energies. Now, in the house of death, the day that Rachel disappeared, look what you see. Pisces, which is right here, that individual that was hiding, the stepfather. And in the house of death in Rachel's birth chart, you will see Virgo. Virgo is the energy of work. Okay, now the father was unemployed at the time. Okay, so he was at home. All right, now if you look inside of Virgo's house, you will see Cancer, the home energy, right? He was still getting money though, although he was unemployed, because anything in the eighth house represents loss, death, the death of a job, especially when Virgo is there, the death of a job. And this also means working for somebody else. So he was getting money because this is what was going on at home, Taurus. He was getting money. And this money that he was getting, he was paying people to keep their mouth shut. Who did this to you, Rachel? Mellon, Skemp. Who's involved? Who do we need to pursue today? You have family and friends watching this reading. You have somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that is responsible for your disappearance. If she's not dead, she's in hiding. And if she's in hiding, I know who she's with. The father. Because look in the ninth house. This is the father energy. This is the stepfather's energy, which is the one who's responsible too. But you also see the father's energy. So if she is in hiding, she's hiding with the father, somebody that's linked to the father. But if she's not in hiding, and if she's dead, this chart lets me know that her body has been disposed of, because Virgo represents sanitation. Let's talk about it. Make sure y'all are utilizing my tutorial in the link below. It is a timestamp video that you can tap on any sign, house number, or planet you hear me talk about, and it'll give you a general meaning of that sign, that house number, and the planet. So you will see how I formulate my stories when these cards come out, lining up with these houses, these synchronicities. Energy doesn't lie. You just got to know how to tell the story. Know how to read the planets, read the signs. They're everywhere. Rachel, who do we need to talk to, pursue today, September 24th, 2025, to bring justice? Who did this to you? Whether they're alive or not, who do we need to reach out to? A stranger in the eighth house. A stranger in the eighth house. Now, the eighth house is the house of death, okay? The stranger Now, in this 11th house, okay, in this 11th house, okay, that Rachel was born in, this is the house of strangers. Okay, so if she's most likely dead, this stranger card, which is in the house of death, would most likely be the sanitation, the person responsible for disposing her body. This doesn't mean this is the person responsible for her death, but this person is definitely involved. And it makes sense. Go look at my tutorial if you don't believe what I'm saying. I'm not making this story up. Go look at the 11th house and you'll see the stranger. And the stranger came out in the 8th house of death. And I just got finished telling you, if she is dead, then this is the stranger that disposed of her body. I feel like she's dead. I feel like she's dead. I know the stepfather did it. We're going to find her body, lost and found. Rachel, where's your body? Where is your body, Rachel? Where is your body? Where is your body? Where is your body, Rachel? In a building. In a building. In the 7th house. This could be the house. Because the 7th house is where she's at. And I just asked her, where's her body? In her chart, look, that's where she's at. This is Rachel right here. This is her moon, and this is her sun. This is where she's at. And what house is she in? The stepfather's house. Do you know they moved out of that house? Because the mother believed the stepfather. And she agreed to move away from that house with him because they felt like law enforcement was trying to hold him responsible. And they were zooming in, getting close in on proving that he did it. Do you know they moved out of that house? And do you see Rachel telling us right here that her body is in a building? This is her. Body's in the building in that house. In that house. I'm going to pull one more who, Rachel. Oh, because there's a lot of people responsible. I don't understand what type of law enforcement system they got going on in this world. A lot of investigations is clear. You know, a lot of it is clear. Even with your 2 eyes, it shouldn't take somebody whose 3rd eye is open like mine's to be able to create a divination to express to you the other side. Certain things you can see with your 2 eyes. What type of investigation were they running? Even if their 3rd eye wasn't open. You know, why am I here investigating this? Crimes that people with your 2 eyes can see. You only come to the one whose 3rd eye is open when you've come to the end of what your 2 eyes can see. But see, their 2 eyes was seeing what happened. That's why there's more to it. They didn't want to see that. They didn't want that to be the reason. This world is wicked, disgusting. Why that came out like that? Let's pull this. Up, up, the 11th house. Like I told you. Working with her stepfather. Yep. Working with her stepfather. That's Rachel. Look at this. The 11th house, the stranger. That is the house of strangers. Look at that. Right? And then sanitation. I told you. And then this is Rachel. Look at Rachel right there. In the building. In the building. And if it's not that house they moved from, this is a stranger that abducted her and has her body in their house. Look at Sagittarius, the energy of another culture. This is the chart that was pulled from the ether. Look, in the house of death. And you see that stranger in the 8th house. If it wasn't her stepfather, then her stepfather knows who did it. It is a stranger. Somebody she didn't know. He claimed he walked the dog that day. It's making sense. He claimed he walked the dog that day. And he left the door open because there was no force of entry. So he had to tell them he left the door open. Because the story that he told, he said he walked the dog, and then the dog spotted a rabbit, and the dog began to chase the rabbit. So he went home because he realized he left the door unlocked. That's a bunch of bullshit. He claimed he walked away from the dog to go home because he left the door unlocked. So he said, if she is missing, he even told her father, her birth father, that if she is missing, because her birth father came from out of town. Okay? She told the birth father, the stepfather told the birth father, if she is missing, then somebody came in and abducted her because I left the door open. And they said he said it in such a nonchalant way, like he didn't really care. But you know what? He told the truth. But he told it in such a way where it wouldn't put the spotlight on him. But that's exactly what happened. He left that door open. He knows that stranger that abducted and came in without force of entry. You can see it for yourself. And that's my reading on Rachel Mellon Skemp. And may she rest in peace, because I know she is gone. She is no longer with us. And hopefully this reading will bring justice to her family and friends, because you can't make this shit up. Share this video, like it, hit the bell button so you'll be notified when I drop my investigations. Y'all be blessed.